Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Will the meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission for Wednesday, June 7th, 2017, please come to order? For the benefit of those who may not have participated in the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, our procedures are as follows. 1, we will read the legal call of the meeting as published in local newspapers, and the applicant will be invited to come forward and present the case, explaining to the Commission and others present what is being requested of the property. Comments of town agencies will be read for each application if there are any. There will be clarifying questions from the commissioners, then there will be an opportunity for clarifying questions from the audience. First, those who wish to support the application may come forward, and second, those who oppose the application will then be invited to come forward and express their opinion. As this is a public hearing, it must be recorded. It's necessary for all the speakers to identify themselves by stating their name and address before addressing the commission. The applicant is then free to leave or remain for the balance of the public hearing in the regular meeting, at which time the commission will try to reach a decision on each application. Each applicant will be notified in writing as to the decision of this commission and has a right to appeal in Superior Court if desired. All the decisions of this meeting are available the day after the meeting by calling the Planning and Zoning Office at 453-8039 after 9 a.m. Seating this evening, and everybody's going to be seated, are the following Planning and Zoning members. We have Tom Cost, Richard Wallace, I'm Frank DeAndrea, Josh Hirschman, Ray Bauer, Rich Meyer, Alan Brown. Staff present, Reggie is here today. She's just not seated right now. Lisa Brewer, and our videographer is Peter Schultz. Will the secretary please read the legal notice?
Notice is hereby given that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing on June 7th, 2017 at 7:30 p.m. in the Nathaniel B. Green Community Center, 32 Church Street, Guilford, Connecticut, in the Mononkatuk Room on the second floor for the following purposes. Winifred Siebert, the Guilford Keeping Society, Medad Stone Tavern, 171 3 Mile Course, map 70, lot 18, zone R3, special permit application for rental of the first floor of the house and outside property for events, section 273-19. Winifred Siebert, the Guilford Keeping Society for the Thomas Griswold Museum, 171 Boston Street, map 40, lot 135, zone R3. Special permit application for rental of field for outside events, section 273-19. Jeff White, 160 Woodland Road, map 55, lot 210, zone R3. Special permit application to build a garage, section 273-19. David Strong, 504 Guilford Goose Lane, map 81, lot 13, zone R5. Special permit change existing 4-bay garage to a 1-bay garage with the remainder to be a photo studio and office space, section 273-91. Copies of these applications are available for inspection in the office of the Planning and Zoning Commission, Town Hall South, 50 Boston Street, Guilford, Connecticut. At this hearing, persons may attend and be heard, and written communications will be received. Dated at Guilford, Connecticut, the 17th day of May, 2017, Frank DeAndrea, Chairman.
Thank you. And Phil Johnson just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, and we got Alan seated tonight, so you were 8. You're not Walter, but we'll get you your name.
I'll be Walter.
You want? All right, so let's get going. So we have, first up is Winfred Siebert, the Guilford Keeping Society. Not here yet? All right. Just, do we have to do anything, or we just keep?
Have that later in the
Later? Okay.
Move it down to the
Second? Anybody?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Same thing with the next one. Okay, Jeff White.
Yeah.
Come on up. You can go right over to the mic so we can get you on the video and the voice.
Good evening.
So you have an application before us?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us
You want to present a little bit about it? Or?
I want a garage.
Okay.
All right, how about your name and address? Let's start with that. For the
Sure.
record, please.
For the record, Jeff White, 160 Woodland Road, Guilford, Connecticut, 06437.
You are seeking a special permit application to build an 841 square foot garage, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so this is the first public hearing. You're going to be required for a mandatory second public hearing. What do we have?
Reg, you looked at the...
Everything
Everything is...
Yeah.
checks,
Yes, I
lot
did.
coverage, all of
He's
that?
okay with lot coverage, he's okay with setback requirements, he needs a garage.
Does it need it needs a special permit because it's over 750 or?
That's correct.
It's over 750.
And I want to keep that 3 feet on the back end.
Okay, we have a letter from Dennis Johnson, Director of Health for the town dated June 7th regarding this application. The applicant's proposed garage addition will not conflict with the location or function of the septic system currently on the site. So that's good news.
Any other
I have no
letters?
further questions.
Okay, no other letters. Any other questions for any commissioners?
Just having gone through this process myself with a garage similar size, have you just checked with neighbors? Are they cool with it? Are they fine?
Per instructions, I've sent all the requisite letters out, gotten no replies from them. My closest neighbor that I'm in contact with, directly across the street, he'll get the eye full of it because when it's growing season, the property's pretty secluded. He has no problem with it.
People don't speak up, then that's their issue.
So, does anybody in the audience have any questions? Yes, can you just state your name and address for the record?
Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Karen Catalano. I live on Richard Road. My only question is, where are you going to access the garage? From Woodland or Richard Road?
There is no access from Richard Road.
Yeah, talk in the neighborhood was that there was going to be a driveway running from Richard Road down into your property.
Where did they manifest that?
You know.
So the answer to the question is no curb cut, no drive.
There's no plan in my foreseeable future of accessing Richard Road.
And the big concern is Richard Road is very narrow. I don't know if any of you have ever driven on it. It's a dead end. I become the turnaround.
Okay.
And it's very hard for vehicles to get down there.
Well,
And it's
It's even harder when neighbors use my property for their parking.
So hopefully, on the record, he said he has no plans on accessing Richard Road, so is that okay?
Why I came.
Great. Any other questions? Anybody who'd like to speak in favor or against this application? There is a second public hearing. Okay, seeing none?
Move to continue.
Continue to June 21st.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this. Wholehearted Early Learning Center was withdrawn, so if anybody was here for that, you don't have to wait around. So now we have David Strong. Come on up.
Hi, I'm actually not David Strong. I'm Noah Ehlert, the homeowner, 504 Goose Lane, Guilford, Connecticut, 06437.
And Juliana Ehlert, the other homeowner of 504 Goose Lane.
Hi. I didn't know if you needed this, but we're trying to turn our garage into a photo studio. So when we first moved to Guilford, we had one child. Last year we had another one, and so we turned our photo studio that was in the house into our master bedroom. So we're trying to make a little more space and move our little art studio or photo studio out into the garage. So that's the plan. That's the request.
There's already a building presently. You're just closing in the bays and making it so you can heat and electricity and everything.
Did you show us the photos you have?
Yes.
There's a letter here that I'll just read into the record.
Please do.
It's from Kevin McGee, the environmental planner for the town. Have you seen this letter yet? Or heard? Okay. All right, it's dated today. The site plan indicates that the applicant is proposing to convert an existing 4-bay garage to a 1-bay garage with the, okay.
No, sorry, they were looking at something
Oh.
else, and I just wanted to.
Okay. To a 1-bay garage with the rest of the structure being converted to a photo studio and office space. The architectural plans identify a future bathroom located on the north side of the building, which is located within the Inland Wetlands Commission 100-foot review zone. If this further bathroom is to be constructed, it would require a permit from the Inland Wetlands Commission.
Yes.
So, okay, you know that? Do you have a problem with that?
No.
Are you still planning on putting the bathroom there, or?
That depends later on down the road.
Yeah.
Do you want a copy of this letter?
Yeah.
Okay, but you do realize that with this approval, you can't do that
two
unless
here.
you go back to inland wetlands and.
Correct.
potentially get here.
Where's the other?
We have another one from Dennis Johnson,
Right there, bud.
Commissioner of Health, dated the 7th. The applicant's proposed garage conversion to photo studio will not conflict with the location or function of the septic system currently existing on site. So that's fine. Reg, everything is fine with that? No problems? Just they're not
No.
really changing the,
No, because
Footprint there.
it's already there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Question? Any other questions?
I have a question. I'm confused about ownership. You said this says David Strong,
He's our architect, and his name was on the premise when they were
but
submitted.
you're the owners of 504.
Yeah, we're the
Okay.
owners of, yeah.
That answers my question.
Digital photography?
We shoot some film.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't develop, no.
Okay.
I'd
Yeah,
like to,
no lab,
but
but-
no, that's not,
It's a lot more work.
it's, yeah, it's not work.
And we need more space.
I tried it, color processing, it isn't easy.
No.
No, we both started off in film. and
Fun hobby.
Very wonderful, but it's a different,
Black and white's easy to
no, the color's hard.
Okay, anybody else?
I'm good.
We close this portion of the
Well, hold on, give me one, let's see if anybody else has a question.
Oh, right, we just need to.
Anybody from the audience would like to ask a question? Once again, this will be a second public hearing on this. Anybody wish to speak in favor or against?
So now I'm moving to close this portion.
Second?
All in favor? What?
Continue.
Continue, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
So we come back and do the same thing on the 21st?
On the 21st.
Correct.
Okay,
You'll love it.
thank you.
It'll be fast.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, do we have anybody from the Winterford Seabird at the Guilford Keeping Society yet? All right, so could we get a approval to,
Just in case they don't come. I could explain what they want to do,
okay.
but why don't you go through the rest of the meeting, and then we could come back to
Yeah, we
this
can always
item.
come back to that portion later, if it's
Okay, so
necessary.
can I get a motion on the revised agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman,
Is there anything, no deliberation, right?
Nope.
I want to take myself off of Sunset Creek.
Okay. Okay, so, okay, Phil, you're on for this. So we're going to move on to Sunset Creek Development. This is under subdivision. And Mr. Wallace is out.
Okay, make a motion that we receive the application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay.
Okay.
I'm Jim Goodrich. I'm a partner in Sunset Creek Development, and this application has to do with the subdivision Millview located on the corner of Cherry Street and North River Street. In your April meeting, you approved this subdivision, three-lot subdivision. Actually, it was a two-lot subdivision that you approved with certain construction, which included widening Cherry Street to 22 feet, which required chopping some of the trees down, actually 22 trees down on the side of the road. Kevin came to me and informed me that there were a lot of people who were concerned that cutting all these trees were going to affect the last scenic road in Guilford. And some of them are very nice. I mean, there's a real point there. But the engineer in the original subdivision, of course, went for the maximum effect, and we widened the road, and we put a swale on the side and whatnot. But in any event, Kevin called for a special hearing because so many people were concerned about all the trees being cut down. We had a special hearing here in the community center. People were heard. They had legitimate concerns, and Jim and Kevin met out there at the site. I was there as well, and decided that that road really didn't have to be 22 feet, that it could be 16 feet, which is what it is right now. There is some variation, but it will be exactly 16 going through. It really runs from about 16 to 19 right now. But nonetheless, by keeping it at 16 feet, and we do have to put a water line in that road, and we're going to put it more in the center of the road so we don't interfere with the roots on the trees. And so that now, I believe it's 11 trees get cut down instead of 22, just half. And maybe 12 trees, there's one tree in question, but that's up to Kevin and the arborist who we've hired to look at it. Also, there was a swale in the first approval, a drainage swale behind the stone wall, and that's been eliminated because the stone wall doesn't have to be moved. The stone wall is going to stay where it is. We're going to actually repair some of it. What else was there? That's pretty much it. And now we have to plant some replacement trees up on the side. Where the swale was going to be is now going to be 10 replacement trees that Kevin gets to pick out, and Kevin gets to tell me where to plant them, according to Kevin.
There's a letter here, too, from Kevin.
Did
Did
you
you
read
did you see this letter?
Is that, what's the date on it?
June 7th. Is
Today.
this new?
Today.
Well, I met with Kevin this morning, and I met with Kevin on Monday, so, but I don't know about the letter.
I'll give it to you after I read it.
Why don't you read it in, Josh?
The applicant is proposing to modify the subdivision approval to allow for a reduced road width in order to preserve the scenic characteristics of Cherry Street. The previous approval required the removal of 24 mature trees and the relocation of the existing stone wall. A public hearing regarding the removal of the trees was conducted by the Tree Advisory Board on April 18, 2017, due to the petitioning of 22 residents. At this meeting, the town engineer proposed a revised plan which reduced the road width and removed proposed draining swell. The revised plan reduced the removal of mature trees from 24 to 14 mature trees, with 10 of these trees having hazardous characteristics. The Tree Advisory Board endorsed the revised plan after hearing comments from the public. A copy of the decision letter by the tree warden and the minutes of the hearing are attached. Recommendations for condition of approval. That up to 10 mature native trees be planted on parcel 1 along the property line of Cherry Street. The location and specimen of the trees to be replaced are to be filed determined by the tree warden along with a subcommittee of the Tree Advisory Board. Second, during the construction of the road in parcel 1, an orange construction fence be installed along the new street line to Cherry Street to prevent damage to the immature trees located in the new right-of-way. So is that consistent with the conversation you've had with Kevin?
It's exactly, as a matter of fact, I don't know, it's exactly what he wrote me after the, so yes, I agree with all of that. And the construction fence is up now, so.
Absolutely.
I'd like to know, is Kevin now, if he had hired a landscape architect and the architect said, I want you to plant, my recommendation is you plant 10 small oak trees, does Kevin have the authority to tell them that they can't plant oak trees?
No.
Well, he's telling, in this recommendation, he's saying that he will make the field determination as to what tree can be planted there.
Be in the road right away, so he, as a tree warden, has the authority to decide what trees to plant, and the Tree Advisory Board is going to field determine where these trees are going to be planted.
And Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a perfect example of there being sort of an issue where everyone seemed to come to a resolution.
I understand that they're not opposed to it. I'm wondering about where there is language that says that the tree warden can tell people what they can and cannot plant.
It's on the town right away. I think that's the only reason why.
Well, no, even if there wasn't that language, if they're agreeing to it, it doesn't really matter,
that.
yeah. Whether we.
Yeah, I just don't think it would be the same conversation if it wasn't on the right of way.
So I have a question. Let's say Kevin says, I want mature trees, and by that I mean really big trees. You have to do what Kevin wants?
Well, I'd probably hire somebody to do something to Kevin beforehand, but.
But the way we're wording this is, we're saying that we're going to go on with Kevin's recommendations, and among those recommendations are 10 mature trees.
Well, in my thing here, it says the trees to be replanted shall be native species. So it doesn't say anything about caliper of tree or anything like that.
So I guess by our saying mature, are you cool with that? Because Kevin.
I trust Kevin. I do think that he's not going to come to me and say that I got to plant 8-inch round trees. I'm sure that's not going to happen.
No, it's also, it says recommendations for conditions of approval. Kevin's not saying it's got to be this or no way. This is a recommendation to this commission that these conditions be added to the approval.
But if we approve it, then it is the way it's going to be.
That's right, yeah. I mean,
So we could probably say, up to a 4-inch caliper, or if you would feel that you would need that. But if you're okay,
I honestly think I'm okay.
Okay.
I've had a lot of conversations with Kevin. I think I know where he's going, and it's in my best interest to plant nice trees. It's not that I don't want to plant, little tiny trees just to get through the recommendation.
So you're
I'm
okay.
not saying I'm above that in general, but in this case, I do need nicer. And by the way, I believe I have the first lot there is sold, or I have a contract on it, and the homeowner is going to want to have some input onto that as well, because they're going to border her house. So we'll work this out. I'm not too worried about it.
These two conditions, which I just read to you, there are 4 other conditions that were proposed to us for our motion that we're going to be considering tonight, and I just want to read them to you to make sure you're okay with them.
My list has 9. Do you want to see that?
Well, no, let me just see if you have a problem with any of these, and
Yeah,
then,
okay, let's
and
do
then,
that.
so the engineered design septic system plan shall be prepared for lots 1 and 2.
All the lots.
Okay. That prior to issuance of a building permit for any lot, $5,000 be paid to the town of Guilford Land Acquisition, okay? The town of Guilford zoning enforcement, this shall be notified to inspect the sedimentation and erosion control measures, okay? And as part of any road widening of Cherry Street, the stone wall should be relocated to the proposed property line.
That was part of the original approval, and now we are not going to have to relocate the stone wall. And as a matter of fact, we're going to have to patch the stone wall.
All right, so
These were actually conditions when we approved it in March 1st, so really, it's just a restatement of what's already been
Correct.
agreed
Okay,
to.
so-
And all we really need to add is those 2 new conditions with
That
this
makes sense.
approval.
So we're not losing the 4.
No, no, those still run with you.
No, I'll make a motion. Oh,
No.
It always seemed pretty heavy-handed to me that as the owner of the piece of property, that you were being required to make a 22-foot wide road for the town. But that's neither here nor there. I'm happy for your behalf.
I've worked in the town for a while, so I'm somewhat used to it and somewhat prepared. I was prepared for that eventuality. So going from 22 to 16 helps me out a bit. I'm gonna damage the road because I'm putting in a water line up that road. So I'm required to fix it anyway. So the onus is on me on that.
I'll make a motion. Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve a subdivision road modification plan submitted by Sunset Creek Development for Millview, map 46, lot 77, zone R1, to reduce the width of Cherry Street from 22 feet to 16 feet as shown on Town Road Improvements, Millview, Cherry Street, and North River Street, Guilford, Connecticut, dated 2/24/17, revised 5/22/17, prepared by Harking Engineering and Anderson Engineering and Surveying. It's noted that the following conditions of approval from an approved granted March 1st, 2017 meeting remain in effect. I'm not going to repeat them. And the additional conditions for this approval are the ones that were recommended by Kevin McGee on his letter dated June 7th, 2017. This application is approved based upon a finding that it conforms with the subdivision and zoning codes of the town of Guilford.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Well, we could have had some discussion.
No, you want, yeah, okay, let's discuss it.
Just the one thing I have is that in there, we're saying that they have to do something about the wall as the final, and I don't have that in front of me. Ray
Yeah,
was reading
but
it.
that was from the previous,
Right, but we made, you're right, but we made that a condition of the approval this time, too. Do we have to take that out, or is it cool with it?
No, just in case.
So we're approving it that he's going to put in a 22-foot road, according to what we just said, even though we know he's putting in a 16.
No, this,
if you read the motion says Cherry Street from a 22 feet to a 16-foot.
right.
Right, it is as part of any road widening.
But you're right,
The
the-
stone wall should be relocated. to the
Right.
proposed property.
So the stone wall thing is still in there, but it's going to be a mute point.
Good. So I'm good.
Any other discussions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Against? All right. Thanks, guys. Let's go John Christopher Bretman.
Good evening. I'm a newcomer at planning and zoning.
Okay, so all you got to do is state your name and your address for the record.
Bretman, 132 Coventry Way, Guilford, and this is regarding 1984 Lost Post Road, Guilford.
Okay, tell us what you're doing.
All we're doing is, not much is changing to the building besides a major renovation. We are also putting a bay door back where it originally was, and a smaller door to the side of that to utilize as an office. Otherwise, besides lot improvements, possibly a fence to secure the vehicles in the back of the building, that's about it.
So you're going, but this is for a site plan revision, to change use from auto mechanic shop to an auto body shop, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
The old emission station.
All right.
1984.
What a good year.
Near the rock pile.
Yeah. That building, yes.
Good.
There's a letter here from Dennis Johnson, which I'll read into the record. It's dated today, June 7th.
Today.
The applicant's proposed site plan revision to change its use to auto body shop is compatible with septic system facilities currently existing on site.
So,
would you
Reg,
like
there's
to
no
copy? Would you
need
like
for
this?
a drawing of the site.
We have
plan.
it.
We have it here, okay.
have
And
it.
it's the,
We have the drawing of the interior of the facility and also the parking spaces and where the fenced-in area is going to be in the back.
so that's all shown.
It's complete.
And
The signage has been under review by the design review committee, sign committee, and that's been approved.
So I do have a question, then. So you're showing the fencing on there, and so is that a requirement, or, because I know a lot of the projects we do,
He could tell you.
It's not a requirement.
so,
He could tell you why he's putting the fencing in.
I don't know if you're familiar with Guilford Texaco, but they use a fence also to secure vehicles, just to keep,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't mind if he does or doesn't, it's just that the site plan should conform to what's actually taking place there, the drawing.
Right.
So if
It's
it's
on the
on there, it
drawing.
should be there. If we're not going to put it in, it should be on there.
That's what I was kind of alluding to.
Hey, Reg, TS2, the approved use is body shop, TS2?
Yes, we checked that. It was already an existing auto repair facility.
I peeked at this really quick.
And this is the fence, right there.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
And, I mean, it would have been grandfathered anyways, even if it,
Well, it isn't
yeah,
allowed
it's
use.
an allowed
Yeah.
use though, so.
Thank you.
And it's not one of those you really get one of that.
I think there is one. I could read it in,
Okay.
if it's okay with you.
Please do.
Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve a site plan revision for Jonathan Christopher Brenton to change the use of 1984 Boston Post Road, map 78, lot 2, zone TS2, from an auto mechanic shop to an auto body shop as shown on zoning location survey property of Auto Associated, Inc. in 1984 Boston Post Road, Guilford, Connecticut, prepared for Chris and Cheryl Brentman, dated April 25, 2017, prepared by Waldo and Associates LLC. This application is approved based upon the finding that on May 24, 2017, the Guilford Zoning Board of Appeals approved the location of an auto body shop at 1984 Boston Post Road, and that it conforms with the zoning code of the town of Guilford, but
Second.
was there anything before the Board of?
ZBA?
Yeah.
There's certain things that they have to,
They
under
approve
statute,
something?
they have to approve, like, I think.
Were you, did you go before ZBA, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great,
Zoning Board
okay.
of Appeals
Then that's
now
great.
is the body that has to approve dealer and repair locations. So it used to be the Planning and Zoning
right, but
Commission, then it went back to the Zoning Board of Appeals. So they approved the location, you're approving the site plan.
It's like gas stations, too, like, they have to, then the fire chief has to sign off on it, then usually the
Seems
police
like-
have to sign it.
Seems like a lot of hoops.
It is, but in any event, that's the law.
Any discussion?
I'm good, here it comes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or against?
Thank you.
Okay, John DeFore. Did I say that right? DeFore?
How are you? Hey, I'm actually Brandon, so John's my father and business partner. So Brandon Dufour, my company's name is The Next Street. We are hoping to open a driving school at 2351 Boston Post Road. It's a change of use request. So a little about my company. My headquarters is in Watertown. This will be our 25th driving school location in Connecticut. So we've done this a few times. We're pretty good at it. Our stuff is very simple. We will use the space 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. 4 nights per week to hold driver's ed classes. And again, on Saturday and Sunday mornings, usually around 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we will do pickup and drop off for our driving lessons, behind the wheel lessons that happen. The good news about our business is that we have 0 parking requirements. We are all pick up and drop off because all of our customers don't have their driver's license. And so they come in, mom drops them off, they jump in our car, we go out, we do driving lessons, we come back 2 hours later, they jump out, they get back in mom's car, and they go. So that's the general. I'm happy to answer any questions about it, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Just remember my drivers, you have a little classroom there.
Yeah? Yeah.
There's a letter here from Department of Health, Dennis Johnson. It's dated today. The applicant's proposed change of use to a driving school is compatible with the septic system facilities currently existing for building number 204 at 2351 Boston Post Road. It is recommended that the applicant's proposed change in use be approved. Do you need a copy of this?
Sure.
Okay, take it.
Thank you.
No problem. I don't have any questions.
Questions?
No.
Anybody? Okay, I'll make a motion, voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve the site plan revision for the next street driving school to change the use of 2351 Boston Post Road, unit number 204, map 84, lot 12, zone TS2, from a recreational facility to a driving school. This application is approved based upon a finding that it conforms with the zoning code of the town of Guilford.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, against?
Good job.
I'd like to compliment all of you, especially Reggie. We've done this in a lot of towns, and we've seen the spectrum of difficult and very easy, and you guys were efficient and professional, and Reggie is outstanding. So we look forward to being here. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
That makes you feel good, huh? Thomas Allen? Dr. Thomas Allen?
No, John Dempsey for Dr. Allen.
Okay.
His builder. We're looking to change a hair salon to a medical practice psychologist. I'm out of Clinton, Connecticut, 15 West Main Street.
Okay, site plan revision, change use from a salon to a private practice medical?
Assuming that that's probably.
Oh, that's
less
the
than-
hair salon across from
salon.
Milano's
Letter.
development.
Letter, 2418.
Yep.
We do have one from Dennis Johnson.
Let's read it up.
Today. Soil test conducted on the applicant's property on March 9th of this year revealed suitable conditions for construction of a septic system to serve the proposed medical office. Based upon soil test results and site plan review, it is recommended that the applicant's proposed site plan change in use be approved with the following condition: that an engineer designed septic system for the proposed medical office building shall be approved by the health department and installed prior to building occupancy. And you're aware of that
Yes, I am.
condition? Okay, and you're all okay with it?
Yep.
So I got a question. It says that in a medical office building, that implies that they're putting up a building, but this says they're changing from a salon to a private practice medical office. Is there confusion on my part?
Well, it says installed prior to building occupancy.
For the proposed medical office building. It's the last line. For the proposed medical office building
Here?
shall be, yeah, right by your,
Well, that's installed prior to building.
Right
Yeah, I
above
know,
it.
a proposed medical office
so
building.
is
I
this
think-
an office building, or is it a conversion of a salon to an office?
The entire building is going to be changed, the use is going to be changed from the beauty salon to a medical office.
So they has to put a new septic system in?
I would think it.
According to Dennis, he does.
The septic system is shot, so we're putting one new one. We're putting a new one in anyways. So we had it inspected, so a new one's going in anyways.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
I think the septic regulations for a hair salon are even more stringent than what you would.
Yes, yes.
Any other questions? Motion?
Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve a site plan revision for Thomas Allen, PhD, to change the use of 241 Boston Post Road, map 78, lot 17, zone TS2, from a beauty salon to professional medical office, as shown on site plan property of Thomas Allen, PhD, Pathway Center, prepared for John Dempsey, assessor, map 78, lot 17, 241, 8 Boston Post Road, US Route 1, Guilford, Connecticut, dated 6/1/17, prepared by Thomas A. Stevens and Associates, Inc. This application is approved with the following condition from Dennis Johnson's letter dated June 7th, 2017. This application is approved based upon a finding that it conforms with the zoning code of the town of Guilford.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay. Applications to be received. Special permits. Somebody want to start reading these off?
66 High Street, Guilford LLC, map 33, lot 63, zone R1, amend special permit issued 2/19/15 to include swimming pool and clubhouse facilities. Section 273-19, receive and set public hearing for 6/21 to be continued to 7/5/17 for mandatory second public hearing. Diane Auger, 5051 Durham Road, map 129,
Yeah, I'll second that. First one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Diane Auger, 5051 Durham Road, map 129, lot 1, zone R8, special permit to allow for sale and processing of organic topsoil. Renew special permit granted 2/1/12 with the conditions of approval, section 273-19, receive and set public hearing for 7/5/17 to be continued to 7/19/17 for mandatory second public hearing.
Second, Frank, quick question?
Yes.
We are going to meet on the 5th of July?
No, probably not, right? Or are we?
We are.
We are? No, maybe you don't have to.
Fourth is a Tuesday, right?
No, that's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
It's the Wednesday after July 4th.
Yeah.
Whether or not it makes any sense to try and
Front
do it the
load.
following week and then the 17th?
Bring your suntan lotion.
You know, I mean, like, do you want to go like the 12th and the 19th versus the 5th and the 19th? Does that make any difference?
To me, it doesn't, because
You're standing down.
I'm in town, so.
I won't be able to make the 5th. I'm going to be out of town that day.
I don't know I don't know if we could just schedule a different hearing.
We can.
I mean, I'd rather do it now than show up here and not be a quorum.
It's the call of the commission. It's your
Yeah, there's plenty of
agenda.
time to notice it. It has to be noticed a certain amount of time before the meeting, but that's.
Does anybody feel that that's going to be?
How many other things have already been scheduled for 7/5 that we approved last time?
The public hearings that you heard tonight.
Tonight, all of us.
Those are going to be heard second time.
7/5 would.
No, wait a minute.
they're all
No,
6/21.
6/21. I'm sorry.
So far at 66 High Street. 7/5.
I mean, how does everybody feel? Alan?
I might be around.
Okay, Phil's, no, you're doesn't bother you?
No.
Rich?
I'm not going to be here on the 5th. I can be here on the 12th and the 19th, so maybe the 12th would be better.
I'll be around, so it doesn't bother me.
Walter's never around.
I'm not going to ask him.
I mean, I don't really care.
Walter can't make it on the 5th and the 19th.
I think I'll be here for either one, so it doesn't matter.
Either one, so we could do the 12th, that's okay with you guys?
Let's do the 12th.
Sure.
The 12th.
Do we need to vote on that, or?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You need to move that of the 3 public hearing items, actually, the 4.
Well, we've only done one, so I'll read.
Just 66 High Street.
Phil stopped us.
Sorry.
No, which was good, before we finished all of them.
I should have done that for the first one.
So,
My fault, I just
if
kept
I
going.
understand right, the first one's gonna still read 6/21, and then it's gonna read 7/12.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I will remake the motion that I made.
I'll re-second it.
I'll and I'll.
And then for the one that I just read, I'll change the receive and set public hearing for 7/12/17 to be continued to 7/19 for a mandatory second public hearing. Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
And then Derek Streeter, 48 Moose Hill Road, map 19, lot 3, zone R5, special permit for a 651 square foot accessory apartment in an existing detached 2-car garage, section 273-19, receive and set public hearing for 7/12/17 to be continued to 7/19 for mandatory second public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, zoning amendments.
So this is a recommendation by the zone, this one actually was a recommendation by the zoning committee.
A real
Amend-
one.
Yes, amend Article 7, signs, add a new section, section 273-62, digital display signs on town property, section 273-91, receive and set public hearing for 6/21/17, to be continued to 7/12/17 for mandatory public hearing, second public hearing. Probably a combination of George, the zoning committee, and I don't know, maybe someone from the selectman's
I
office.
had an opportunity to read it today.
Yeah.
Can I make a request that they produce a list of all possible sites that this could go on?
Well, it's all the town.
I know.
Any town- Yeah, so.
Yeah, we could get that for the meeting.
I don't know, that's, I mean, it's every property that the town owns.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, outside of the green. I think it excluded the green. It's
it's
one
on the
sign,
green.
it can't be, you
Yeah.
know, right, you read it, so.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, well.
No,
it has
no,
to-
no, 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 no.
It has to,
No,
it has to be.
it wasn't anywhere. No, it can't be on scenic road.
No, it has to be on, it can only be on a piece of property designated as commercial.
But we probably shouldn't be discussing.
I was just curious, I just, before we get here and we ask a question, they say, I don't know.
So are you saying that your concern and worry is that the town owns a right-of-way in front of everybody's house and they could put it in front of someone's house?
Public hearing.
No, of course.
Joe wouldn't do
Legislative
that.
things can be discussed.
Can I
Yeah.
also request a vote on this from the Board of Selectmen, as opposed to just having it be handed down?
I think what my impression is, and we should discuss it at the public hearing, but my impression is that this has already been budgeted for and approved by the Board of Selectmen. This actual spot.
Well, I think everything that the.
don't think so.
Well, when Joe Mazza was at our,
I don't think
when Joe Mazza was at our meeting for the zoning committee, he said that, what was it, how much did he say was budgeted for it? 15,000, yeah, 15,000 in this year's
But there
budget.
was no discussion about it, the budget.
Yeah,
so
yeah, so I don't know where it
by
came
approving the
from.
budget, They're claiming that they've approved the sign.
I have no idea what they're actual claiming, but I'm just telling you what was
So-
told to us.
Yeah, so let's, we're gonna set the public hearing. You can ask all the questions you want at the public hearing, so let's,
We certainly should have,
and you can feel free not to support this if you don't want to right now, but I think someone needs to make a motion.
I made the motion.
Okay, can I get an, all in favor? Any against?
For clarification,
Yes.
you are going to change your 7/5 meeting to 7/12, the second Wednesday of the month?
Was the recommendation, yes. That's what we did.
I make a motion that we do that.
That's
We
all
did
right.
that, right?
I don't think we voted on it.
No, yeah, because we redid every one of the three that it
We're
applies
not
to.
sure we can get you a room,
Okay.
but we'll try.
Yeah, so the entire meeting will be moved to 7/12.
They'll be outside on the green.
Digital sign.
Oh, that's after graduation.
Okay, let's keep going here. We have Just Hatched under other.
That's their tent, they get a tent every year. They've had it in
Okay,
the past.
request to erect a 20-by-20 tent in the parking lot for the following dates, July 13th through the 15th and July 20th through the 22nd. They've done this in the past, right?
I'll make a motion quickly, and then you can discuss. Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve a request for Just Hatch 112 State Street, map 46, lot 8, zone C2, to erect a 20-by-20 tent in the parking lot on July 13th to 15th and July 20th to 22nd. This application is approved based upon a finding that it conforms with the zoning code of the town of Guilford.
Second.
Discussion?
They do this every year, they never have a problem.
Okay, call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Keystone Novelties, former Splash Restaurant, 525-535 Boston Post Road, map 48, lot 14, zone TS, request to erect a temporary 30-by-45 foot for the retail sale of the Connecticut legal fireworks from June 23rd to July 5th, 9 a.m. through 9 p.m. daily. Okay.
It's for 2 weeks, just about.
We need a motion. That wasn't a motion. I just
Someone's here.
Oh. Okay.
That's me.
Go ahead. Name and address for the record, please.
I am Neil Shaw from Attleboro, Massachusetts, and this tent basically is a fireproof tent, or fire-resistant. Nothing's fireproof, but approved by the state fire marshal, and the request is basically it's 30 feet by 45 feet. We would open on the 23rd, June 23rd, close on July 5th. It would be set up around the 20th, though, so it gives the town inspection people time to get in there and look at it. And then it comes down around the 7th to the 9th, because would close on the 5th, pack everything up on the 6th, and like the 7th and 8th, they'd come and pick it up.
Signage that this would have on it?
Well, there's, in the proposed motion, it says
Yeah.
a 3x10 banner securely affixed to the tent announcing the name of the business is the only silent signage allowed for this temporary business. And you're okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it also says display of flags, pennants, balloons, merchandise is not allowed outside the tent, and no lighting is allowed outside the tent. Those conditions are okay with you?
Yeah, what corporate gave me was basically a small sign. This is to say that they take credit cards. Another one to say they're open, and that's nothing flashy outside.
I talked to corporate, and I told them we would only allow the banner.
Okay.
The other signs they can have inside to inform their customers that they take credit cards and things, but they don't need to advertise that fact outside of the tent.
So you're okay with that?
Inside, the other signs.
Yeah.
The only thing I would, if this is favorable, I don't know if you should just reword this number 3, no lighting is allowed outside the tent, because you're going to want those parking lot lights on, I would assume. I don't know if that supersedes this, but the way it reads, it says no lighting allowed outside the tent, which to me would be,
It's understood that the parking lot lights would be on, but no kaleidoscope lighting, no flashing red lights.
No Batman. We do 600 tents, and none of them have lights like that.
all right, any other questions?
It's in the parking lot. The former Splash Restaurant.
It's a pretty.
Well, you're talking about the cars that are customers.
The
that are
parking
gonna
lot
have
is how much bigger, do you know what the square footage is of the parking lot, about?
It's huge.
It's huge, right?
Do you need one of these?
You got a picture where the tent's gonna be?
Frank, you know that area, right?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
So Frank, you think this?
I look at it every day.
There's a reasonable space between the parking and the tent.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so, yeah. I would be very unconcerned about that.
Seems to be more than sufficient.
I'm just gonna make a motion and then we can discuss
Yeah,
it.
please
Voted
do.
at the Guilford.
There's parking across the street too, right? Isn't there?
Absolutely
As long as
not.
you get something at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes.
Voted that the Guilford Planning and Zoning Commission approve a request from Keystone Novelties Distributors LLC to erect a 30-foot by 45-foot tent in a parking lot at 535 Boston Post Road, map 48, lot 14, zone TS, property of Lynn's Realty LLC from June 23rd to July 5th, 2017 to sell fireworks and associated novelties with the following conditions. First, that a 3-foot by 10-foot banner securely affixed to the tent announcing the name of the business is the only signage allowed for this temporary business. 2, display of flags, pennants, balloons, and merchandise is not allowed outside the tent. 3, no lighting is allowed outside the tent. This application is approved based upon a finding that it conforms with the zoning code of the town of Guilford.
So we have discussion, I'll second
Second,
that.
okay.
But we have discussion, Alan is concerned about the tent being all the way up by the street. What do you think, Alan?
Well, I don't like the tent being there. I think the tent should be in the back more.
Why? What's the mention?
Well, because cars are gonna be driving right into that area where that tent is.
They don't now, why would they, just because the tent's up?
You're gonna have traffic out there, that people are gonna be buying
The
fireworks.
whole thing is a parking lot, so no matter where you
The whole
put the
thing's
tent, they're gonna be they're gonna go close no matter what to the tent, because the whole thing is a parking lot.
I think his point is that it seems too close to Route 1. Am I wrong?
Parking?
I'm just not comfortable. I mean, do whatever you want, but I'm not.
There's a sidewalk,
And then there's the grass.
There's a grass barrier. Oh, yeah, you know what, it's a legitimate concern Alan has, so I don't feel that, it's gonna impact it either way, so.
I'm okay with it.
Reggie, did this go before the regular planning meetings on Tuesday? Fire Charlie sign off on it? Fire department sign off on this?
No, this is an application to us.
Does the fire department ever sign off on these? Did they do the review on the one up in the rock pile from last week?
I don't know what they do with the fireworks.
Should we let them know that this is happening? No.
Well, they have to inspect when you put the tent up, correct?
They know because
What usually happens is the board says, okay, some towns tell us we have to get an actually building permit. Most towns don't do that because it's just a tent. But then once it's up, we have to notify the state fire marshal that the tent is physically there. And then the state has somebody from the actual town go look at it. Because all the tents had to have been pre-approved by the state. And then they just want to know where it is. So ultimately, the fire department can come in and say, nope, I don't like it, or move it over there. A lot of times it's 20 feet setback from the sidewalk.
Is there a sidewalk?
I don't think there's a sidewalk there.
Well, it's a temporary structure, so are there any setback requirements, Reg, at all?
No.
I don't think there are.
No,
for a
there aren't.
temporary structure like that.
Definitely a good amount of grass area between the street and the first, that curb cuts, the curb line. Any other questions? Well, I will call the vote as proposed. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstaining?
I'll abstain.
2 abstentions, it passes. Okay, thank you. We have an appointment of Mr. David
I have a
Rosenthal.
question.
You have a question? Sure.
What do we do at this point? Do we have to does this town require a building permit to put the tent up? Or you guys just,
yes,
Okay,
you do have to get a building permit to erect the tent.
okay,
So,
just so I can
Town
tell.
Hall South is like 2 blocks that way.
Tomorrow,
Thank-
8:30.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, so we have an appointment of David Rosenthal to the Design Review Committee. I hope everybody had a chance to read his resume. He's been there before. If not, I could go over it really quick. Would you like me to read it?
It's your discretion.
That's my discretion?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would like to appoint him.
You're done. It's finished.
He seems very good. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve paying $426.80 to Shore Publishing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Before we do the minutes, I do have a question here, because we had something that was on from before. How was that
Make a
worded?
motion that since nobody showed up for the first 2 applications for the Guilford Keeping Society, I'll make a motion that we continue the first public hearing to 6/21 and the mandatory second hearing to 7/12
On both of them?
on both of those. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Was there something that doesn't need to get done before 7/12?
I think so. I could read the statement of purpose from the Keeping Society.
Why does it have not? What's the 12th is a problem for the Keeping Society?
Yeah,
Well, if it was a problem for them, I would think they would show up, right? I mean,
sometimes people don't understand.
No
Let me ask
kidding.
you, is it required, before, we go, and maybe one of the attorneys could tell me this, is it required a person be present to do an application once they've submitted, or can it be?
Well, they can have a representative represent them, so that's fine.
It didn't give her permission directly to represent them, and if she says
it kind of
something.
puts us in a funny position, having
Does.
the town staff present on behalf of them.
When are they planning to hold this? Is it before the 12th? Is that why they need it, Reg?
I think they need one of these, and it may be the parking lot for July 5th.
Isn't that the Highland House? Is that one?
And that is the Thomas Griswold House.
Don't they do that every year there? Is that for the fireworks thing? Is that parking one, or no? I'm confusing.
No, Fireworks, we park in the fairgrounds.
Right, but there's one of those homes that they charge $5 and people park in their lot.
I think it may be for the fair.
Oh, for the fair, you're right.
I mean, I don't know quite what to do here, because if they need it,
Like, you don't know what they're gonna rent it out for. They might be renting it out for weddings, or they might be.
Oh, I know, because I spoke with Winnie Seifert when she came in. But if you want to wait, it's fine. We'll wait.
Let's wait.
General consensus, wait, okay, we're waiting. We've already made the motion, already passed, so we are on to the
Mr. Chairman.
minutes.
I've reviewed the minutes and they appear substantially correct, so I make a motion we approve them.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Mr. Chairman.
I'll abstain.
Okay,
Inasmuch
thank you.
as there is no other business before this board, I make a motion that we close the meeting.
All in favor?
At 8:30, sir.
Thank you very much. Too bad.
Pity so.
That's a full 6
Yeah, apparently